season 99, the introduction of controlled tyres in V8 supercars was designed to even up the competition. Trouble is, HRT wasn't listening. Unbeaten so far, the mobile Commodores of Lowndes and Scaife have been brutally effective. Lowndes' 3-heat clean sweep at Barbagallo Raceway 2 weeks ago tightened his grip on an early championship lead.
Crosses it up onto the main straight and takes out all 3 races here at Barbagallo.
Heartening for Ford fans, the raw speed of Henry's latest XR8 Falcons. Seaton and Bright on the podium, firing a warning shot across HRT's bow. Can Ford bring an end to Holden's domination? We're about to find out as we welcome V8 fans around the globe to Victoria's magnificent Phillip Island circuit. The supersonic speeds are not for the faint-hearted. Make a mistake here, and you've just bought a one-way ticket to hell.
Oh, look where he's heading. Goodness me, there's going to be a big accident. Murphy. Look at the damage on that car. They'll be taking that one to the tip for sure.
So get ready for another smorgasbord of speed as our thundering 600 horsepower Aussie V8s are about to boil over in round 4 of the Shell Championship Series. Exclusive to your home of motorsport, Network 10.
It's a cold, wet and windy Phillip Island that greets the V8 Supercar Circus for the first Victorian round of the year. A round where Ford has already hit back at Holden. Hello, I'm Lee Dippy and welcome to round 4 of the 1999 Shell Championship Series. Well, that's right, Ford appears to be making ground with their new car. The new AU already fills 3 of the top 4 positions on the grid. And Barry Sheen,
welcome to sunny Phillip Island.
It looks promising for the Fords.
Fantastic. I'm so pleased that Seaton's on pole position. He really deserves it. The guy I really feel sorry for is Larry Perkins. He had a monumental crash in practice. What happens? The circuit's been resurfaced. It's all right on the dry line, and he just got fractionally off of the dry line. The bank stepped out, and it went into the bank at like 240 k's an hour. And Larry won't be racing today, but he was very lucky he didn't hurt himself, actually.
Well, we look forward to talking to Larry later on because he'll be joining us, in fact, for some guest commentary in race 2. But let's have a look at qualifying now, because the first time since Lakeside in 1997, Glenn Seaton sits on pole position in the Ford Tickford Racing AU XR8. Lowndes, then Mark Larkham, the enigmatic Mark Larkham, from 20th last round at Barbagallo to 3rd here. That's great effort. Bright, Ingalls, Scaife, the real standout there is Stephen Ellery, returning after missing 2 rounds. Faulkner, another promising qualifying. Bow and Bargwana. Well, as always, time to join Mark Osler for the Petters Pole interview.
Well, if the Ford fans were hoping Ford's new XR8 could finally break HRT's stranglehold on the championship this year, they're going to be smiling this morning because Glenn Seaton has put the new AU XR8 Falcon on pole position. Glenn, a fantastic lap. That must give the team and yourself enormous heart and a lot of potential in this car, obviously.
Absolutely, Mark, and it's the amount of miles we've done out here has really gone in our favour because a lot of the bits and pieces from the EL that we learned actually transferred onto the AU. So we're pretty lucky in that way because being the wet sessions and we didn't have much data in dry sessions, to come straight out and to go quickest in the qualifying was very important. And hopefully today we can get a great start and put on a good show.
I guess the starts are critical here, and you've been working very hard on your starting technique, I believe.
Yeah, we have. The last month or so, Neil and myself have been working on it. We still haven't got it quite exactly how we want it, but we've definitely improved from where we were because at the start of the year we hadn't done any starts in the new car, and it's so different to get off the line to the old car. And really, we have improved that, hopefully improved it enough for this weekend.
Well, wish you all the best. And I know there's a lot of Ford fans out there wishing you the best this weekend. Lots of luck.
Thanks, Mark.
Craig Lowndes' dominance this year is obvious there in the Shell Championship Series points. 116 points lead over Glenn Seaton and Jason Bright, the 2 Ford drivers well placed. Engel, despite his bad luck, still sits 4th. The 2 Wins twins, Murphy and Richards next. Mark Noske doing an outstanding job so far, and so too Cameron McLean, the top place privateer who sits 9th at the moment. Well, as in every round, we like to give you a closer look at each and every circuit. Here's Neil Crompton.
Here's the inside line on the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. This place ranks as the #1 favourite for many drivers. It's picturesque, open and flowing, a very high-speed circuit, and as a result of fresh resurfacing, now very smooth. The layout is wonderful, in the tradition of the older European-style tracks, with 10 turns, a lap distance of 4.45 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is anti-clockwise. The top speed is around 270 kilometres per hour on the main straight, and the slowest corner is turn 4 at the snail's pace of 70 k's. What delivers time here? A well-balanced chassis capable of dealing with high-speed corners is critical. And then, big deep breaths provide the missing tenths. Passing spots, there's 4 good opportunities under brakes at turns 1, 2, 4 and 8. The thrill of driving a good racing car is delivered at Phillip Island like few other venues can. Turn 1 off the end of the straight is a blinder. Fast at around 200 kilometres an hour, 5th gear, with a positive road camber that holds the car in place. It's just fantastic. Turn 3, taken flat chat at 245 kilometres per hour in 5th gear. It places more strain on the front right wheel, tyre and suspension than any other corner in Australia, and it's also one of the most dangerous. Put simply, the cars are on the teetering brink of grip just here. Lukey Heights is an interesting feature with a climb, then a plunge over the hill, followed by the tightest of right-handers where you really scramble to put power to the road on exit. Appropriately, the last corner is a ripper, a great way to finish your work, if you get it right, that is. It's seriously fast, but one tiny mistake and you can end up in the tyre wall like Merv a few years ago. But if you do get it right, there's a huge time bonus all the way down the main straight. And if you get a moment, this straight offers one of the finest water views in the country.
Well, it sure is cold here at Phillip Island, but you can bet that after the break, the action will be red hot.
That fabulous Phillip Island circuit. What's your favourite part of the track?
It'd have to be the last turn coming onto the straight, Mark, because you're sort of 210, 215 k's is the slowest point of the corner, and it's important to get a good run onto the straight to get that top end speed.
Oh yeah, come over Lukey Heights through turn 1, stuff like that, really fast, really big commitment stuff, love it.
Probably turn 1, I guess. It's you know, you're coming down the main straight. You've virtually got the sea in the foreground, and then you virtually just drop into a very fast turn right corner.
Now that corner off the end of the pit straight is 230 k's, Russ, and that's a hell of a good corner, 90 degrees, and you've got to take a deep breath to go through a flat.
Turn 1, 250 kilometres an hour, 240 kilometres an hour in touring cars, just absolutely wild.
The really fast corner onto the straight, because the way you come onto that corner obviously determines your speed down the straight, and that's why it's very important to get it right. And those that have got big enough anatomy, I think, go pretty well there.
Dick Johnson's thoughts of Phillip Island. Well, get ready for the first wet race meeting of the year in the Shell Championship Series. In the space of the commercial break, things have deteriorated considerably. So we take a look at the grid for round 4. Seaton, for the first time since Lakeside in '97, starts from pole. Lowndes, Larkham, there was a good effort. Bright, Ingle, Scaife, and Stephen Ellery and John Faulkner share the next row.
John Bowe, good performance in qualifying, fastest in the warm-up this morning too. Keep an eye on him. Jason Bargwanna, Neil Crofton debuting his AU Falcon alongside Tony Longhurst. Cameron McLean, outstanding performance from the privateer. Thomas Mazira alongside the Detstrot car. Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards struggling a little in the Wins Commodores.
They're battling on. So too is Dick Johnson back in 17th. Garth Tander well back. Radicic with some work to do. Noski out of 20. Romano and Reed. Wheel makes his return in the new AU.
Peter Dillman and Rodney Forbes, John Briggs and Anthony Tratt both debuting new AU Falcons this weekend. David Parsons and Mick Donoghue, Simon Amazides and Rod Nash.
Darcy Russell, Mike Imrie, it's a good showing this weekend. Gary Baxter, who's been going reasonably well. Bob Thorne in the second of the Super Cheap cars, and Gary Wilmington in the second Simon's Earthworks cars. Barry, this is going to be a very interesting race, because all the drivers have been saying while this resurfaced track is great in the dry, it is quite slick in the wet.
Well, exactly that. It's a very, very smooth surface, you know, and it being very smooth, it's very not grainy. So what happens, the water sort of lays it doesn't pool across it, but basically any grain is filled by water, so therefore it becomes very, very slippery. I reckon the bloke to watch in this is going to be John Bale, you know, because in the first wet session he was very, very quick. In the warm-up he was quick, and he was saying that he's not quite happy with his car yet. It's not 100%. And
he's never happy with his car.
No, I know, but I would say if you put your money on an outsider, it would be John Bale.
He's funny, actually, John, because he always tends to talk things down, and then he comes out and goes, whammo.
There's a man to watch too, Russell Engel. I talked to him this morning. Very, very confident about this car.
This is Russell's kind of weather, you know what he's like.
Well, he said the difficulty they've had is that effectively they're going to each track having never driven on these Bridgestone tyres. Yeah. It's a totally different suspension setup required, and the wet conditions will suit Russell down to a T. Mitre 10. Forward, Mark Larkham, very quick in qualifying. Actually sat on pole position for a while before that session ended. He's found a very good setup on the car. He loves this circuit. So I expect some fireworks from the Mitre 10 car today.
I think what's going to be the struggle is for the guys to get some temperature in the tyres. You know, that's what they're all doing now, or trying to do, obviously, because the track temperature is very, very low. It was only sort of 9 or 10 degrees this morning at the best. So now it's going to be down 4 or 5 degrees, plus it's wet. So you really need to warm up your rain tyres, you know, you've got to move the blocks around, etc., etc. But there really isn't a lot of grip here in the wet.
Dick Johnson in his farewell drive to Phillip Island in the V8 Supercars. As the field comes on down, Glenn Seaton there, you can see just giving it a little squirt coming down to the line. Here's our Bridgestone race analysis. As I said, a really good field, a good showing of 37 cars, just 12 laps. Obviously, we do it 3 times today. And just 1.1 seconds separating first to 13th, and the top 20 under Glenn Seaton's old lap record.
You've got to watch out for people just standing still when the light goes green.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're going to stick a lot of power down, and there's going to be an awful lot of cars that are just standing still, not going anywhere, you know, so you'll have to keep your eyes open for somebody getting a whack up the backside.
Plenty of people were pleased to see the Ford.